Ish.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basically, pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path. The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basically, pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
Yo. What's good? What's good? What's good? We here. Building.
DJ Hamp does it.
What's popping? Double R was good. Jonathan was good. Tatum was popping. No Country for Old Simps. Yo, that movie, the illest shit about that movie is there's no score. Oddly enough, I don't know if I figure people notice there's no music in there, but if you didn't notice that, watch that movie again. No Country for Old Men. There's no score in it. You feel me? Damn, man. So I was chilling. I got a phone call based on, I guess, a conversation that happened yesterday, and they told me that people need a little bit of enlightenment, or we need to have a discussion about what's important. What do we do? Why do we do the things we do? Why do we celebrate the things we celebrate? The consensus from the call I got, was like people need more information. So I got a little bit of information. I could share it. I'll drop the link. See what y'all think. Family first. Let's talk about that. How important is family? You know what I mean? I feel like we know when we're going to see our relatives, right? Around the so-called holidays. But why is it like that? And then when you hear people talking, it's like, yeah, I love my family. Family is everything. But you only see them when we know you're going to see them. Why aren't people reaching out and connecting? How often do you talk to people other than your immediate family and maybe a few grandmas? You know what I'm saying? People be calling, ask how people doing, but how else to find out unless you go see for yourself? I just would wonder, how important is it to people actually? Or are we taught to say it's important? Because it got to be actions. You know, I think people take care of their kids, etc., etc. But you know, it's something that I wanted to have a conversation about, because I'm trying to see how important things are. If you notice, we've been walking down the path of like, yo, is this cap? Is this clout? Is this how people really living? Is this how they really feeling? Or we just going through the motions? You know? So again, why are we only seeing each other when we know? Now it could be that's when people got days off. You know what I mean? That's fair, right? You don't want to use your vacation days for going to see family. You want to make sure you can use your vacation days to go to Aruba. I can dig that. So if that's when you got the time off that you don't got to spend your sick leave and all that, I can understand that. But I just wonder how important everybody actually is to one another, given we know exactly when we're going to see each other. Black America was popping. I got one brother. It's a possibility I might never see him again. Like, I might never see him again because he ain't getting out the state. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting out the state. And we all the way in Texas now. Am I gonna make it back to the East Coast with all these kids? And I know he ain't going nowhere. So I wonder, you know what I'm saying? First off, let me shout this out real quick. Shout out to Direction CYOP. I just got my hoodie in the mail, restricted garments. You know what I'm saying? So hit the link. I pinned it to the chat, directioncyop.com. My man Bub, you know, he'll be on the podcast. How you show real love is paying full price. Bub don't got no Black Friday prices. Why would he? Gucci don't got no Black Friday prices. So please support, man. You know what I'm saying? 100% cotton. It's thin. I feel like you could wear this fall. You could definitely fit it under your pea coat or your jacket, and definitely in the spring. You know what I'm saying? And then once, you know, shit get old, it is what it is. This might be a good workout hoodie too. You know? But nah, man, I don't know. I just hear it all the time, and I'm just starting to wonder, how much rhetoric is it out there actually about what's important to people? But, you know, I'm going to drop the link in a second. We can further that path. The main thing I wanted to get to was these holidays. I need for the Christians to come to the front of the congregation, man. I'm trying to see what's up with y'all. Like Easter Sunday, Christmas. Like what Bible is it that the Christians are reading and they're saying these things are okay? I just want to understand what Bible are they reading, and then they look back and say, yes, I have Easter Sunday, I have Christmas, and whatever other celebrations they want to include that don't include the Most High for all intents and purposes. That's the problem. Did y'all see the last episode? I think it was Monday when the dude, shout out to We Unlock Nation, he came in talking about God this, God that, he's spiritual. They like saying I'm spiritual. You ever notice that? That's getting a lot more popular nowadays. And I know this live might not be the most like exciting, you know what I mean, or provocative, you know what I mean, but we're gonna have the conversation. You know, I'm gonna at least let y'all know what I know. But I'm noticing that I'm spiritual. Hey, B Love, what's up? I'm noticing that I'm spiritual is super duper popular now. That's the thing that people like to say. I know one person said they an expanded consciousness Christian. This shit gets weird. Like we looking at society now, and we ain't talking about just LGBTQ, right? We talking about the Christian church. We talking about anything that goes awry. But we focus on these things that are so blatant. What about these things that have been right up our noses for so long? If you look at black communities, look how big the church is, and it's right next to a liquor store, and it's right in the hood. How is the church prospering so much and everybody that's going there remains poor? What's up with the propaganda that we don't call out that maybe we should have a conversation about? But that's a whole nother line, right? Let's talk about the holidays. So before let me see what I want to do. All right, let's look at this real quick. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Damn. Hold on. and yo, and that's the thing. I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, we say the new age stuff, and I get that I'm a spiritual stuff, but we gotta hold all the Christians accountable now. Because the pagan holidays, and they just come from Rome or Greece, you know, they different gods, are still being touted and celebrated by old school Christians. My nana been having a Christmas tree up since I can remember. But I got a question. If the book that everything is predicated on says verbatim, do not put a tree in your house that's adorned with gold, would you do it? If it said that in the book that you predicate everything you believe on, and it says verbatim, don't put a tree in your house, adorn it with gold and silver, don't do that because that's idolatry, would you do it? Because that's the part. Yeah, I hit the spiritual shit with the new age Christians. What about the old schoolers though? What's their excuse? Let me show y'all this. So right now we're getting on Christmas. All right. Let's have a conversation. I'm reading it. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, super chat if it's on your heart. That's what they say in church, right? It seemed like that shit been working for a minute. So if it's on your heart to send a super chat, do so.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me show y'all this real quick. Which one I want? All right. This one. All right. So shalom. So this is Jeremiah 10, right? Let's get into it, right? I'm not gonna be all preachy and all that bullshit. Let's just read what the Bible says, right? All right, point blank. All right, I'm not even saying change what you think, change your beliefs. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying you take the scripture, right? This is Bible Gateway. You got access to this too. You take this scripture, right? And you go and read it for yourself after we read it together. That's my only request. And if you see something that you think might resonate or might be right or makes you ask additional questions, put it on your chalkboard, on your whiteboard, and you break it down later, right? Or you reach back out and say, yo, what about X, Y, and Z? Find something to refute it. That's how you learn. Ain't nobody sitting here. All these old motherfuckers ain't sitting here saying, oh, Hamp, you said it, it's right. People ain't doing that. Our egos don't let us. But I'm saying if you see it, go ahead and put it on your whiteboard and then you break it down. All right. So this is about the Christmas tree, right? That we tout, that we adorn and all that, right? Let's read it and see what it says in here. Because the Christians got to come to the front of the congregation now. Holier than thou, righteous as Christians, right? But what do you have to say about this? Okay, right? So we in Jeremiah 10, right? Let me get to the spot. Here it goes, right? Literally at the top. You don't even got to go digging.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
All right,
like that.
I'll start
shit
from
like that,
verse
shit
1.
like that.
Hear ye word which Lord spaketh unto you, right? O house of Israel, right? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, right? So Christians say they've been grafted in and adopted, right? That's what they say. And they're part of Israel now, spiritual Israel, right? So when they say that, they have to now take this into accountability if they're right by even saying that, right? We're not arguing that right now, right here. Okay. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the sign of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? For the customs of the people are vain, right? For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe, right? So literally cutting down a tree, taking it out. You know, they got tree farms now. You can go chop your own tree. That's like a new trend. People want to get the full experience, right? You know what I mean?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Right? They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Right? For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. So this is simple. Okay. Born just means it's dead, right? It's just standing there. You have to fasten it. But what is it though? Right? It's an idol for all intents and purposes. Right? It's an idol for all intents and purposes. Okay? But it literally says, don't do what the heathens do. Right? If you are spiritual Israel, if you're Israel, do not do what the heathens do. But somehow, some way, we've been putting Christmas trees up, and this explicitly tells you don't do that specifically. It's in here. But yet we doing it left and right. I need to understand this. Old school Christians, new school Christians, spiritual. Why are we doing this? Right? See, because I'm not going to say you, right? I'm in charge of people, right? And at work, generally speaking, in my house, when it's good, right? Or excuse me, when it's usually when something is good, I say we. When it's bad, I say me, right? But we all got to be accountable for this right now. Jeremiah 10. Do we really need to read it again? So share the stream. Get your people who go to church every Sunday and ask them this question. How can they get around this? And it's explicitly talking about a tree and what not to do with it. It's an idol, right? That's the key. People focus on the 10 commandments, right? So I ain't going to go too far. I'm not going to go outside of that. I don't think so anyway. Look at this. Exodus 20:4 right here. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is above in heaven or that is in earth beneath, right? Or that is the water under the earth, right? So this is idolatry here, right? And the verse obviously here, this is what this is talking about. Again, I know this live not gonna be super duper popping, but I just want to understand where are we getting this from? Why are we doing these things? And it explicitly says don't do it. Let's talk about it. I like that answer, Ahmed. But like, what? Like, can we have some accountability? Ahmed said we all hypocrites. No, I know. Yo, T, I know this one not gonna have 300 people in here. You know what I'm saying? Right. It ain't gonna have a bunch of back and forth. People probably ain't gonna hit the link. But we in this season now. But the good thing is it's out here, right? So people can go read it, right? They can go listen. Let me see what he's talking. Okay. Right. So there's some silver lining there. Where do we get the celebration from in the first place? Where do we get it from in the first place? Right? Again, the word pagan has to matter. Have you guys heard of Saturnalia? Ancient Roman festival, right? Ancient Roman festival, where they praise the god Saturn. He's like something to the effect of like, you know, agricultural in a way, makes things grow, blossom, etc. And people say a lot on this about, you know, they said they just celebrated somewhere. Some say it starts at the 14th of December. Some say the 17th, the 25th of December is in there. They say it went from the 17th to the 25th. Sometimes they say the 14th to the 23rd. But it's the season, right? You give gifts, people are partying, having a good old time, etc., etc. Right? There's also a lot of homosexuality going on here too, that you got to look at some different doctrine as opposed to just Wikipedia to understand that too. But they took it, right, because it's around that date, and now they saying Christmas, right? But this wasn't an original thought. Saturnalia is actually the original thought. Couple it with all the idolatry, the paganism, it makes sense. So look this up. This is Wikipedia right here. I think Wikipedia is decently solid. But you could, if you type in Saturnalia, this will come up. You can read about it. This is not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering. Yo, Hank, what's popping? It's a money grab, Hamp. Keep blessing the people. Word, bro. Word. I appreciate you. And like I said, we're not gonna have 100 people in here, Hank. We're not gonna have 200 people. You know what I'm saying? But we could do this together, though. We can learn. We can hold each other accountable. So we got Jeremiah 10 saying, "Don't cut a tree out of the woods. Don't put gold and rubies on it, and whatever the case is, right? Don't adorn it. Don't make sure it doesn't move." We literally do all the things it said doesn't do. So again, I need to understand, why do our old school Christians and our new school Christians literally go against what the Bible's talking about? I'm not even judging yet. I'm asking first. Right? I'm asking first. But this is the problem I have. Yo, this is the problem I have with this new school spirituality, yada, yada, yada. There's no accountability. You're not accountable for anything. You can't be held to any standard because they want to say, this is my God, my truth, my spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Well, they always got this microphone. You know? And it means that you can't hold nobody accountable. You can't judge them. Right? That's the problem. You know? And you'll have people come and they'll try to justify it, right? They'll try to say, you know, because they like to say this thing called context. We read it from the top, and then the context actually changes, right? What people love to say, no, this is what that meant, etc., right? No, we read exactly what it meant. And see, if you believe in the Bible, then you know that it's a book full of archaeology, history, and prophecy, right? If you really understand and you want to understand. So it's not by accident if you believe it. If you don't, whatever. But if you believe in it, it's not by accident that it says it and now it's happening and been happening. But now that we know it says it in context, do we make a change? Do we make a change? I'm just wondering, man. Or do we keep doing it because it's fun and because we're accustomed to it and because we're used to it? Right? People say it's not Saturnalia. People will say it's what's that thing? Winter solstice. Right? People will say all those things. All right, cool. Stay where you at. Right? You can't help everybody. People are willing to fight to the death for shit that doesn't matter. Right? But then when it matters, right? And you say you believe in this book, that's where you get your God from. If he explicitly says something, it's too close for comfort to be coincidental. Right? You guys ever heard of Pascal's wager? Pascal's wager basically says, I choose to believe in the Most High God, right? Because the benefits of believing in it outweigh the cost of not. So he's saying if you believe in God and God isn't real, when you die, you just die. But if you don't believe and he is real, the penalty is much more substantial. So even Pascal, I think he was Greek, one of the philosophers. He's like, it makes more sense because it's safer to believe. You feel me?
Shit like that.
But even when you do that, now you got to start studying though. And again, if you want to fight for Christmas all you want, you have to at least acknowledge the point that the fact that Jeremiah 10 is explicit in saying, cut down a tree, don't cut down a tree, don't decorate it, don't bring it in the house, don't stand it up, is too close for comfort, no matter how much you love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just think like that, like logical. Yo, shout out to Black America. Yeah. Yo, you know what I'm saying? No doubt, shot. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just weird to me, y'all. So if it's too close for comfort, you probably stay away from it. Yeah, Chris, it's just edification. Like, let's get on the same page. It's 54 of us, plus me, plus my daughter wilding in the back. Shit. At least we can learn, like, yo, if it says that, let's not do that. We got an opportunity in 4 or 5 weeks to not do that. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. So, you guys heard of Easter? Easter, right? Easter Sunday. Everybody getting all dressed up, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to drop the link, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the link. Have you guys heard of Eostre? Eostre. This is Wikipedia right here. Let me know if y'all want me to drop these links in here. Black America, let me know. That's Jeremiah 10 if you want the link. Just Bible Gateway. And I always star stuff I like, you know what I'm saying? I can't see y'all right now, but I'll look in the chat in a minute. So Eostre, right? What was this deity or pagan god, right? Spring goddess. Name is reflected in Old English, Eostre. Blah blah blah. So basically, it's just a deity for the pagans. That is the spring goddess, right? And you see the lining up of Easter in the spring, but that is the derivative of the word Easter, right? Point blank, period. I just wanted to show y'all that it's actually out here, right? So that is where that comes from. For me, instantly it's eliminated. What's popping? Yeah, goddess of fertility, right? I could read through this boots, but you feel me? It get kind of boring. But it's a pagan goddess of fertility, of spring, right? Things growing. Isn't that enough said? No doubt, Black America. But isn't that enough said? How much deeper do we need to go to say, yo, this shit is foul? Like how right? But let's take a look at it though. So I'm gonna go to the Bible one more time. Put her in the back.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Show him Bible one more time, right? I don't know if this is the last time. This is Acts 12:4, right? So, and when he apprehended him, so this when Paul was getting arrested, he put him in prison, and delivered him to the four quaternions. Damn, put me in the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Right now, he was apprehended by King Herod. Okay, right. King Herod introduced Easter into Israel. Right. The reason why that's so important is because Herod is not an Israelite. He's not a Jew. Herod is what is called an Edomite, which means he comes from the man named Esau. All right. Let me show you this tab. Okay. This is about Herod. Herod, born 72 BCE in Idumea, right? That means Edom. Okay. South of Judea. He was the second son of Antipater the Idumean, a high-ranking official under I'm terrible with these names, right? Cypros is telling all the names. So Nebuchadnezzar, an Arab princess from Petra in present-day Jordan, right? Her father was a descendant of an Edomite with a Jewish mother. Okay. Right. His descendancy is what's key. His ancestors converted to Judaism. He was raised as a Jew, but as more like a religion. But you got to remember, you are born an Israelite. It's a nation in the Bible. So you can't convert. You can convert to maybe a belief system, but your bloodline, if you're not that, you're not that. That's what people have to thoroughly understand. So Herod was actually an Edomite, right? And he introduced paganism, Easter, into the culture. Right? I just don't want y'all to think I'm talking. But think about that. Esau, Edomites. Jacob, his name changed to Israel, Israelites. Right? They had beef from the jump. So then the Edomite comes, right? He becomes king because they, Roman, the empire, right? I mean, everything was messed up. Turn it down. So he introduces this into the culture. So now once we know, don't we just say, yo, that's it? What's the fight for? See, because I'm showing y'all the scripts, right? But also the history, right? For people who don't believe, the history is pagan shit. We don't deal with it. It's stupid. If you like, even if you don't believe, it's stupid. Nah, Al, I haven't even gone that route. I'm just looking at so-called Christmas, so-called Easter. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, like a Black America's comment is perfect. Right? Because that's what I was saying, right? We can say it's not about Christmas trees, right? Okay. But is it so close to idolatry, worshiping a tree, cutting out the forest, decorating it, making it stand up in your home? It's saying don't do that specifically. You can say you don't think it's about Christmas trees, but it's so coincidental that that's something to consider, right? You can make it in your head and say, nah, that's not what they're talking about. But it's so close. It's something for you to very, very intently consider for yourself. Because now here's what happens. A brother like Black America is going to put the tree up, and then that verse going to pop back in his head. And he's a thoughtful brother, you feel me? So he gonna be like, damn, And that's all you need. You need that damn moment. So if you get a damn moment, maybe just don't do it, right? For like I said with the Pascal's wager. Pascal said it's safer to believe than not to believe. So Black America, and to everybody who wants to put the Christmas tree up, because we'll make it in our mind to want to do something, right? So if it's so close and you have a doubt, then don't. You feel me? Like it's just that simple. Because you don't know if the Most High thinks that's paganism. Right? So you say we don't think, but we don't know. Right? So if you don't know, you probably want to err on the side of caution. It don't even got to be that deep. Because are you taking a 50-50 shot? Right? You might be right, but you might be wrong. But if you're wrong, what is the penalty? That's how you think of shit. Everybody's trying to break down scriptures. Just read it. You see there's a discrepancy. Stay away from said discrepancy. Because if you wrong, you fucked. The math got a math. Because are you taking a 50-50 anything if it's life and death? Think about that for a second. Are you taking 50-50 chance if it's life or death? You might take a 50-50 chance it's $100. But if you believe in all this stuff and you know that the wages of sin is death, Nick was popping. If you know that, then you read that verse and it's a 50-50 shot, you can be wrong. What decision do you make? Right? But you know what happens? Kids. Right? Your kids, you don't want them to not have what you didn't have. You don't want them to be laughed at school, to be different in school, to not be able to celebrate these things. So the kids influence us to a fault. Right? So I'm just saying, I ain't saying change it right now. I'm just saying think through it. The risk versus the reward. You gotta be careful. And the kids will do it to us, bro. They will. You know, shout out John in the chat. He's saying mixed fabric. Yeah, I can go through all the laws in the Bible, right? But let's not do, well, you can do whatever you want. But let's not do that to try to deflect from what it is that we're talking about. Right? Let's not do that. Let's focus on idolatry and let's break down that sin for now. Because John, let me ask you a question. How many commandments, and if you break those commandments, are sins? How many are there in the Bible without Google or anything of that nature? Right? And so if we want to start going through, we need to go through, don't get me wrong. But right now we're just talking about this. Yeah. So, and remember, the Bible isn't interpreted, okay? It's discerned by the right people. You know how people like, you got to go read it for yourself? I'm telling you that, right? Because I'm giving it to you, pause, in the right way, pause. I promise you my discernment is right on these. Just trust me. So now go read it and try to first understand how I got there and then try to prove me wrong after. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best way people learn. That's why I hated proofs in calculus. You know what I mean? You had to figure it out. But yeah, so John, there's 613 laws in the Bible. And when you said 10, people will often say that, but then you got the misfabric commandment. It's not in the 10. So you see, sometimes we confuse ourselves. All right. But that's all I'm saying. Trust me on this. Understand why I'm right, and then prove me wrong. That's all. Because even though we haven't met each other, I feel like we got some connection, especially like Black America always come up. Like I don't even ask him to cam up half the time because I know he doing shit. But then I'll make people all around him cam up. You know what I'm saying?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
So
like that,
yeah,
shit
man.
Like that, like that.
Damn. And that Easter shit, I mean, point blank. You see it, that ain't right. You know that came from somewhere else. Do we just discard it and be done with it? Know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Yo, shout out to Restricted. What's up last of it? Restricted Garments. DirectionCYOP.com is pinned to the top of the chat. There is no Black Friday sale. If you want to show real love, pay full price. Gucci don't got no sales. Louis don't got no sales. Nah, they don't need to. Neither does DirectionCYOP.com. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. So let's get off that for just a split second. What about Thanksgiving, man? What about Thanksgiving? I just DJ'd a party on a reservation. I went to a powwow. This is a day, you know, yesterday's a day of mourning. You know, today is, what is it, like National Indigenous Day or you know, what, I forget the exact verbiage, I apologize. But all we know it is Black Friday. But you know, for a lot of the Native American tribes, yesterday was a day of mourning. Right? And so here's what people say. Yo, hey, we just doing it, hanging out with our people. We just saying thanks, yada, yada, yada. Do you think that you should be able to separate the so-called holiday from the atrocity? Think about that for a second. Just wait and just think about it for a second. Yep, I got some fried bread, John. Just like fried dough. I love fried dough too. But are you is it cognitive dissonance almost to separate the atrocity from the holiday, so-called? Like, doesn't that do something? If the people who were in this land first were destroyed, right? What's up, Mo? Right, and they mourn that day. You celebrating it. Does that bother you at all? Look at this. You guys might know about this, right? This is not specifically Thanksgiving, but this is just what was happening to those people. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. The Trail of Tears. Anybody heard of the Trail of Tears? Again, I know this live wasn't gonna pop all crazy. I understand that. But the Trail of Tears, they had to march from Florida to Oklahoma. Right? Do you know how many passed away under Andrew Jackson? Let me read a little bit of this. The Trail of Tears was an ethnic cleansing and forced displacement of approximately 60,000 people of the 5 civilized tribes between 1830 and 1850 by the U.S. government under Andrew Jackson. As part of the Indian removal, members of the Cherokee, Muskogee, Creek, Seminole, Chickasaw, Choctaw nations were forcibly removed in their ancestral homelands in the southeastern United States to newly designated Indian territories west of the Mississippi River after the passage of the Indian Removal Act in 1830. They had to walk it, dying. There's a story out there that said, and those numbers are too small also. So the yep, Kev. So there's a story, because a lot of those tribes, they have very, very tight connections with their dogs. The dogs are considered family, right? Like siblings or children, you know what I mean? So they had to cross a river, right? Right, but the dogs couldn't fit on the raft, so they left the dogs. So the dogs naturally follow, right? And so the dogs, they try to cross the river, they don't make it. They all dying. All the dogs die, right? There was one dog, and the families are crying because those relationships, I mean, it's like your child. One dog is paddling. He gets about halfway across, but it's a river, so it's flowing. And the dog doesn't make it, right? But he was like the last hope. But this is how much people don't care. Don't give a damn. Or they didn't care about them back then and still don't. And look at the epidemics they have. What percent of the population is Native American? Yet per capita, they are, I mean, obviously it's per capita, but they have the most trafficked women. You should see how the reservations look. Like, I thought that was just on movies. When I went out there, I mean, it's broken down, old buildings, trailers, like kids wearing stuff that you would see like on some Feed the Children video. But just the 2%, maybe, John, right? But yeah, KFC, I just read those out too. So I'm just wondering, and I'm looking at the chat, right? And this is what people do. I understand it. Opinion, reality, right? Even though it's not a super chat, you can pick a random day in American history and have a reason why people shouldn't do anything that day. All right, cool. Like, is he wrong? Is that person wrong? I'm not sure. Whatever, right? But the point is, we know, we know what these things actually represent. Right. And since we know, and this is a day that's celebrated, let's focus on that. Right. So now that we know what happened to these people, right? Let me show y'all this. And y'all don't care, right? These ain't your people, so it don't much matter, right? But this is just and I'll if you want the link, I'll send it to you. But these are representative of those tribes. It's important to know that for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a day of mourning and protest, since it commemorates the arrival of settlers in North America and centuries of oppression and genocide that followed. Right? Organized by the United American Indians of New England in 1970, the fourth Thursday in November, Thanksgiving is recognized as a national day of mourning for Native Americans and their allies. That probably don't mean nothing to nobody, right? But it's in there, and they said it. So I'm just wondering, man, like, can you separate the day from the atrocities? If you can, should you? Right? I'm sure people don't give a shit, right? But like, we gotta really start looking at this stuff. What's that? It's like a phrase that says like oppression anywhere is oppression everywhere, or something like that. I can't remember. But I'm just wondering, man. Like, not even on the biblical tip, just straight like, yo, look what happened to these people. But we just rocking out, right? We try to act like our families are so important, but we don't see them no other time of the year, but for these extended periods where we don't got to spend no vacation days, right? Parents live halfway across the country. My niche is moving elderly people into different communities and stuff, right? The kids always coming from somewhere else just to try to coordinate it. They want to try to take over just to put them in a home. Right? They not in touch. One lady, senile, right? Going to memory care. She don't know which way is up. Daughter flying in, trying to monitor the money. The mom come to now like, man, my daughter never come to see me, so on and so forth. When we get into these people's houses and we moving them back and forth, they love talking to us and my team. right? Because they don't have any visitors. Their kids don't live around them. But we always talking family this, family that. What? Until they get too old, until you can't take care of them, until they become a headache or a burden. Oh, family's so important, but I only see them on so-called Thanksgiving and so-called Christmas. And any other days, I don't have to spend my vacation days because my job gave me the days where I can go see my family. Think about that. My sister did the most righteous shit in the world. She was thriving in North Carolina, doing her thing. She went back home because my parents are getting older. They're not even that old yet. They're like 63, 64, right? I mean, they getting there. But she went back up there because she knows the maturation process of life. You know, you hear once a man, twice a child, right? How many kids is doing that? How many people is doing that? What's up, world class? You moving from a city like a Charlotte or a DC or a Houston. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta. Going back home where it ain't that. Just because you know the vibes. You know the maturation process of life. That's real shit.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
How many
that,
people
shit
doing
like
that? Family this, family that. We be doing a lot of talking, man. And I'm saying we, myself included, we do a lot of talking, a lot of preaching. We know so much. We love so much. We love hard, this, that, and the third. How selfish are we actually? I gotta say it again. Fatty had a breakdown, right? About alpha males, right? And I took a good look at it. I said, yo, damn, that's me, right? And most time people be like this. But not in the way you think, though. The selfish nature, the hustle and bustle, the grind, to make sure your name lives forever, that you actually leave a legacy and make a statement. People get chewed up in that process, too. I don't care about sleeping. I'm trying to get the money, all the money I can, so that everybody's taken care of, right? But my reputation matters so much too. And then in that process of grinding, things get forgotten. Yeah, the bills is paid. You know what I'm saying? All those things, check. But what about the love I'm showing? What about the energy I do or don't have from not being available, from grinding it out? Right? What about a lack of intimacy, right? What about the fact that, like, I'm not seeing things or noticing things, or you missing things because you steady grinding? See, people talk out for this, out for that, yada, yada, yada. Yo, Nick, real shit, Nick. But yeah, I'm so alpha, but there's a lot of cons that come with it. I'll get in a fist fight right now if somebody say the N-word to me or around me. Is that stupid? I think it's necessary. Don't make it stupid. Not stupid though. Because I got this mentality. Think about that shit for a second. What's good, love? CG was popping. Vince, what up? Think about that for a second. You dominating all the time, but then when does it stop though? I'm good on the internet. In real life, you know, if I'm having a back and forth or a discussion, that's one thing. If people want to argue, I'm not good at it. Because I much rather just get to it. And I think most men are like that too. At a point, it's going to go over the edge. But again, in my daily life, I don't have that issue. You know what I'm saying? You know? But the need to be right, how strong is it with your wife? Think about it when you got this alpha mentality. How much do we hear? Men probably only hear about 30%. What up, triple black? Men probably only hear about 30% of what they women say. Now, what if you got this ego-driven mentality, right? Where ain't nothing gonna stop you. And now her words are more like noise. How much do I, and I'm using myself, right? It's better that way. How much do I hear to actually comprehend? Now I can hear everything to rebuttal, but I got a good memory. I can remember what people say and I can poke holes in it to make my point, right? But am I listening to really understand? Men provide remedies, but if you're only remedy based, right? How does she feel in that process? Right? Yo, let's keep it a buck. I don't know, man. It's just ill, man. Like I said, shout out to my brother Black America. Like he said, he don't think it's a tree. It looked like a tree to me, but just go ahead, dig deeper. Easter, Eostre, enough said. Trailer cheers, right? Atrocities for what happened to the Native Americans. We got Thanksgiving. I don't think it's possible to disassociate those two things. If you cannot disassociate them, then should we be putting this to rest? And then finally, family. How far are your parents? When the last time you seen your siblings? When the last time you went out your way, unless it was convenient, like a holiday, to see your people? How often do you talk to your grandma? How often do you talk to your parents? How often do you talk to your siblings? How often do you talk to your cousins? You ever call people to ask them if they all right? Are you giving people their flowers? I'm just wondering, man. You're an A-type alpha personality. How much of a dick are you? When you look up, you don't even know what your kids' favorite colors are. Because you grinding and everybody patting you on the back. What about everything else? Just wondering, man. I'm just wondering. I don't even know if anybody want to have a convo. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to drag everything out, but I'll drop the link. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.